Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Jake Show.
Jake, let me ask you something.
What you got?
So in the lending world, what are the few vehicles, maybe one or maybe a couple, that make you the most worried whenever you see them, when someone has that?
Like worried for my life?
No, maybe both. Maybe both.
But,
Who knows?
are you talking about for like
From financials.
financial and credit and all that
Yeah.
good stuff? It's funny you asked that. There's a joke in my office. There's a clear answer for this.
Yeah.
And it's probably gonna make some people mad, but it's the cold hard truth.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, if you pull up the office, if you are driving a Camaro, if you're driving a Charger, if you're driving a Mustang, I'm going to be looking at your credit report very, very
Is
And
there specific years there, or is it?
if it's brand new, you know what? In most cases, not every time.
Yeah.
We've had a few people that pull up and it's like, this works. In most cases, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
I would say that. And I would say most lenders, most people be too scared to admit that. Most lenders, I think, would agree with me in this regard. And, I guess we can talk about that here in this episode.
On the opposite side of that, what's the best vehicle you see driving up? A Tahoe with 4 kids getting out?
Surprisingly, stuff like that, a very modest vehicle, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense. Something that's no flash, usually not a big name brand. It's usually always pretty safe. I will say this: if you see a guy who is in their 40s to 50s and they jump out of just a beat up early 2010s, late 2000s pickup truck, especially with single cab,
Oh, yeah.
that guy's gonna have 805 credits.
Especially if you got a
He's gonna have
cowboy
no-
hat on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna have no debts, and he knows exactly what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
So
He already found the house, too.
100%, 100%. Those farmers that you see,
Yeah.
if you go to the donut shop and you see some farmer out there eating a little pig in a blanket or
Yeah.
whatnot,
Guys drinking coffee at
Yeah.
the local gas station.
those guys got it made.
Absolutely.
Those guys got it made. I think you starting with that question can create an interesting topic for this episode.
Yeah.
Here. I want to talk a little bit about this. Going to piss some people off, but I want to talk about being big rich or broke poor or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. There are a lot of people, again, with the rise of like social media and stuff like that, a lot of people act and look to be very, very successful, very, very wealthy, very,
Yeah.
very rich based off the stuff they buy or the places they go. I can tell you with full certainty, in most cases, again, not saying every single person who does this is lying, but in most cases, the people that do that usually come with either low to bad credit scores, a ton of debts, or they just simply don't make as much as they put off.
Do you see any truth in the saying, dress up for the job you want?
I see that in a business sense. Like if I'm working somewhere and I'm dressing up this way,
Yeah.
I'll say something very interesting. Actually, you'll find this very interesting, and we haven't even talked about this in like the pre-meeting or anything like that. Back before I did mortgages, I worked in the banking business. Specifically, I handled IRAs, new accounts, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I was the person who, if you wanted to open up something, you would talk to me. In that training, we would always have to do either semi-annually, annually, or monthly trainings. About every single time, there was always a training. We were trained if you had somebody walk in with top-notch designer clothes, suit and tie, or anything
Yeah.
that's elaborately dressed, you need to look at those people with great caution. Mostly because, in my honest opinion, the folks who have a lot of money know they have a lot of money.
Yeah.
They don't care where you think they do.
Yeah.
Whereas the people who are putting on a show,
Yeah.
they're going to go all out to make themselves look like they're absolute balling.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And again, I say that coming from someone who's in the lending world now, and prior to that, someone who spent many years in the banking industry seeing people's bank accounts. Most of the time, the folks that are flashy, the folks that are that you expect just based off what you see every day on social media or what they drive, what they wear. Most of the time, I'm not saying they're poor, but most of the time, they're not as good as they put off.
Yeah.
I will say that. Whereas again, if you have somebody who is dressing up in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and they're showing up in a modest little Corolla or something like that, you would be extremely surprised how those people are doing financially well compared to what you were probably initially thinking. And again, I think it goes back to, if you're rich, if you know you're rich, you don't care if people think you're rich.
Absolutely. I think that parity shows a lot more. It's a lot more apparent in smaller towns than it is in bigger cities. Bigger cities, you see the people that are rich, they usually do dress, a little bit because they have to keep up with that kind of city mindset. Smaller towns, I would say that parity is a lot more where it's like the people that are well off, people that are wealthy, they'll dress down. They'll dress like the normal person that they grew up as, whereas, bigger cities, you do see where a lot of the times the guy that's dressed really nice, probably in a skyline apartment.
Again, I'm not saying you show up to work getting off work or whatnot, or going for late, post work, going to dinner. I'm talking about the folks who, you go hang out, go bowling.
Yeah.
And they're showing up in the nicest strip you can imagine, Hey, with me, if Tanya wanted to go up and go on a bowling date with you and your lady, today I'm wearing sweatpants and some off-brand compression shirt here. I'm rolling like this. I'm conking, having a good time. I am way past the need to be showing off the top-notch brands.
Absolutely.
I'm not rich. I will throw that out there.
Do you ever flex the top-notch brands?
When I first got into the business, I was trying to act like a finance expert, I would say. Which, again, acting rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember for the first 6 months or so, I was always rocking the blazer, tie, the nice name brand sunglasses, like that. And here's the deal, guys, just to prove my point, I was broke. We were eating beans and cornbread at that point. But, that was, again, I didn't have anything in that case, business-wise. I didn't have much leads or much business going on. So I faked it till I made it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are doing the same.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying I had said before, I think in the last episode, I know I've talked to you many times about it. I don't ever judge somebody on their monetary worth at all. I truly do think, at least from what I've done now in work, money is just numbers to me. Personally, I think everybody's broke in their own certain way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we talked about this before. Bigger paycheck, just bigger bills.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So I don't want to say, like, if you are somebody who is watching this and you like to buy a little more than you can chew, I'm not saying you're a bad person or anything like that. I'm more or less saying all this for the people who are living a very modest lifestyle, who look on, again, like the Facebooks, the Instagrams, and see these people that are, in their same field or in their hometown or whatnot.
Yeah.
And they're just going crazy with it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying those people that you're looking up to are not doing great things. They potentially could. I'm just saying from a financial standpoint, statistically, you're probably in the same boat as those people.
Time to pay the bills.
Hey guys, quick break from the show. If you don't already know who I am, I'm Jake Martinez. Not only am I the host of The Jake Show, but I'm also a veteran mortgage lender. Now, if you're not really sure what a mortgage lender does, I'm basically the guy who helps you figure out how to actually buy a home or improve the one that you already have. I look at your income, credit, and goals and show you what's realistically possible, whether that's buying, refinancing to lower your monthly payment, or just getting a clear game plan on what you can and are able to do. No pressure, no confusing bank talk. We can even run everything with a soft pull so it doesn't hit or affect your credit. If you got questions or just want to see what your options are, hit me up anytime. Call or text 940-389-5443. I would love to see what options are available to you. Now back to the show.
Licensed Texas Mortgage Lender. NMLS number 2453141. Equal housing lender.
I'd say on the same side as that, people that go on a lot of extravagant vacations as well.
I would agree.
Yeah, like where I've heard of people where they take out a personal loan just to go on a big vacation in the Bahamas or something like that.
I agree.
You know, and it's kind of it's a crazy thing for me to wrap my head around, where you want to go into debt for. I understand it more than the clothes side of things, or like more of the materialistic side of things.
Yeah.
I understand the experiences and stuff like that. You don't live very long. You know, you're only 20 in your 20s once.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you do want to do those things, experience them when you're young. But at the same time, it's like, why put yourself back in your later years just to have a 4-day cruise?
I see a ton of that.
Yeah.
With people that are in my age group. You know,
Yeah.
Mid-20s, late 20s.
Go to Miami every weekend.
Yeah. We see, I have a lot of clients who, you know, they apply for me and they're wanting the process starting a house. And they'll come up and obviously we have to take a look at the credit and stuff like that, obviously. And you'd be amazed how much credit card debt these people have. And when I ask them, I'd be like, hey, you know, this is affecting us in some way here. You know, why do you have $20,000, $30,000 credit card debt?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as an extravagant number. That's pretty, that's honest, what we see a lot. And they say, oh, well, you know, we don't have any kids right now or anything like that. So we just go travel with time.
Yeah.
If you, let's look at two different potential, you know, hypothetical families. It's a lot easier to get the mindset of, hey, I'm going to travel once a month and just go on these extravagant trips and do all this and post about it and show off. That is a lot easier to do than when you have 2 kids at home, you already have a mortgage to be able to pay for and stuff like that. And again, the worst part about it, that type of image makes a modest family who is just getting by and doing work, it makes them feel poor.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not coming out here saying all this because I absolutely can't stand the people who are enjoying their life. You know, your money, your debt, your credit, do whatever you want to do with it. There are consequences for that. But I'm more or less coming from the standpoint of somebody who I don't want the people to feel like they're missing out or they're not where they need to be.
Yeah.
Because I have conversations with friends all the time, and you know, they'll be complaining about where they're at in their life right now. And then it's easy for sometimes somebody to say, like, I'm just making up a name, how can Josh go to, you know, New York City?
Yeah.
Do the same work I do?
Yeah, we work in the same job. Yeah.
A lot of times it's not as complex as it's made out to be.
Absolutely. You also don't know what's going on behind the scenes. That's a big part of it. Some people have help from other sides. Some people have grandparents that, you know, passed down a lot of money to them. Stuff like that. Like, you never know, truly. But that's a big thing of social media, is it hides all that nastiness behind that picture. You know?
100%.
So, like, someone could be in Miami at the Ritz and the beach, and you have no idea how they got there.
Yeah.
So you never need to, like, judge yourself off the picture, off the post, off of things like that.
I agree. No, I never liked the idea of people feeling like they are behind where they need to be.
It's very easy to do. I mean, especially in your industry, I'm sure you see young people buying houses all the time.
I do.
And that's got to be, I know I see it myself with insurance. I'll insure someone and I see they're born in 2004. I go, shoot, I was born in 2000.
Yeah.
They're 4 years ahead of me, you know? So you those thoughts are hard not to have.
No, man, I totally agree. I want to give a little bit of advice for the folks who don't necessarily care about showing off.
Yeah.
And they just want a modest family, a modest home one day and stuff like that. The best advice I would give somebody who doesn't feel like they're quote unquote cool enough, just keep doing you, man, or girl, whatever the case may be. You know, I can say this as a lender. I absolutely love it when somebody comes up and says, yeah, I make $4,000 a month gross. I have one minimum credit card with little debt, and I make that with what I've got. I love working with that person because it's so easy to get them whatever they want in most cases. Whereas I find it very complex when I'm talking to somebody who says, yeah, I make $15,000 a month. I have a great income, but I have this $2,000 car payment I got to make. I got this motorcycle. I got this boat. It's all on debt.
Yep.
I ran into an issue and commissions weren't hitting last year too well. So I ran a little bit of credit card issue. My credit score is not that great, but that should be fine because my income level is so high, right?
Yeah.
Well, now we got issues.
Yeah.
And a lot of them.
There's in y'all's world, there's a thing called DTI.
Yeah. Debt to income.
Known to, as debt to income. So that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand, that the more debt you rack up, doesn't matter how much income you have, because
Exactly.
you'll have a percentage based off of that income to how much debt you actually own currently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Probably because of work. I have a different mindset on wealth. What wealth is, what it means to be rich. Whereas when I was younger, I probably thought being rich meant who can afford to go on the trips. Who can afford this, who can afford that. Also, to extend upon that, obviously, I thought whoever makes the most money is the wealthiest.
Yeah.
And now I have realized there's so much more that goes into that.
Absolutely. It's not even monetary either.
No, not at all. I base wealth and richness off of comfort level.
Yeah.
How when the bills need to be paid, how worried are you? I have seen it literally many times where people who, again, only make $4,000 or so. I'm not saying it's a low amount. I'm just throwing that number. People who make $4,000 a month are living much more comfortably, have a lot more saved up than people who are making $250,000.
Yeah.
Wealth, richness has nothing to do with how much you make. It's about how you manage your bills, how modest you are. I'm doing this and I'm fine with that. Most of the time, those people, they live very comfortable lives, and when it comes time for them to buy a house or whatever the case may be, we usually have no issues with that at all. I would much rather see someone who doesn't make as much money with one or no debts than someone who makes a lot of money with, I gotta scroll the page a few times, I just think as a society, we have such a wrong mindset and view on what wealth is.
Yeah, absolutely. We put such an emphasis on money nowadays. Like we were talking about with social media, with all these things that you're just throwing in front of your face that you must have. We're the largest consumer in the world. Our country is. The U.S. is the largest consumer. We're literally just a consumer country.
Yep.
That's what we are. That's why we're so wealthy as a country. Our GDP is so high, because we have the most amount of consumers out of any population in the world. And I think that has just bled into kind of the point where we're at now, where everything's so in front of you.
Yeah.
Everything's so, marketing has taken such a stance to where no matter where you pick up or what you look at, you're always put into the position of, you must have this, you must have more, you must have this. Where wealth, say 50 years ago, was mostly about how comfortable you are with your family, how much love you have in the household, and things like that. Not directly monetary as it is now.
Yeah. I completely agree. And I think we put way too much emphasis on the dollar. And I don't believe at all that your monetary value has any weight with who you are.
Yeah.
As a person, as a human being. To extend upon other stuff we talked about, not necessarily credit or income, but if you make $1 million, you don't get to keep that with you when you die.
Yeah.
If I'm on my deathbed and I have nobody around me, but I have a very large checking account, I would much rather have 20 people around me and have 1,000 or so in my account at any time.
Well, those other people are waiting. They're at the lawyer's office.
This is true.
Waiting for you.
They can't wait. I would hate to be in a position where people can't wait for me to die.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And again, I can't stress that enough. Like, I'm not here anti-rich or anything like that. Again, I have numerous clients and people that I know that make absolutely tremendous money, and they do drive the nice trucks, nice cars. Absolutely awesome. I hope I can be like you guys. But again, a lot of times they are living comfortably because they truly can't afford them. They've been smart with their money. Danger comes when people who don't make a lot or make okay money are not preparing themselves. And I think most worrisome is when people feel like they have to do this to keep up with their neighbors or their friends and their families. And because of this, now they are spiraling out of control, and they're just adding to debt balance and whatnot. Money is a dangerous game, and keeping up with everyone else, that can get you in a lot of trouble extremely quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of just the culture we've built now.
Time to pay the bills.
This is Corbin McBride with Goosehead Insurance, just coming to you real quick to try to just offer my services. We do anything property and casualty, so that's going to be home, auto, ATV, boat, anything you really own, even commercial business. Happy to quote you out and see if we can help you save some money. My number is 682-282-5051, and my email is corbin.mcbride@goosehead.com. Thank you.
I agree.
It's everywhere too. I would say it's definitely geographical, where like the way people flex. Like, obviously we're in a bigger city, or like Chicago, Dallas, stuff like that. There's different types of flexes.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a cultural thing, but it's also geographical in that sense as well.
I agree.
But it is dangerous trying to keep up with everyone else on the street you see.
I'd agree.
See a Rolex, you don't know that's from Taiwan.
Yeah.
And they look good.
100%.
I've held one before. I'm like, I couldn't tell you, but I'm also not a watch expert.
How often do you think, like, having the fake Rolex, how often are you getting called out for that?
I would say never. I'd say never unless you go into a jewelry store.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm not going into a jewelry store very often. So, I mean, I see women all the time that have fake purses. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
No.
I think that's actually a great move.
100%.
Yeah.
I have friends of mine who are married, multiple of them actually, who went out and when it came to like getting the engagement ring,
I was going to say that.
gave the wife like the fake ring, and the wife knew about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't care. It looks good.
Yeah.
No one on the street's getting out the little fake diamond thing.
Exactly.
And doing this. It's, I don't get it, man. I just don't. Again, it really pisses me off that we put so much emphasis on cash.
Absolutely.
And I just don't think that's healthy in any way. I think we should place much more emphasis on just straight, reliable, good old fashioned happiness. What draws that to you? It's never a price tag. I think we should put more emphasis on just living. If somebody offered me $1 million tomorrow, but I died the next day, I wouldn't take that deal. Yeah, at all.
I would also say what we mentioned in the last episode. Our generation kind of has that mindset of spending why you got it,
I agree.
Why not now, where our parents, they kind of lived through different generation to where they were always taught to save.
I agree.
Now it's like, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I go on that trip? Why wouldn't I buy that ATV? I'm going to go to Rednecks and Paychecks next week, and that's going to be badass.
Yep.
Like it's kind of a culture shift of the mindset that our generation is in compared to earlier.
I think something has something to do with that too. Is you had touched up on this idea earlier in this episode, but it's the advertising.
Yeah,
I think as a society, advertisement wise, the idea of accumulating debt is just so expected.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Pass it to your kids. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? I know. Like, I would be curious to say if you told somebody 50 years ago or so that were credit cards even around by that?
Yes,
they were very different.
I was surprised to realize that credit cards have been around for a long time.
Yeah, just imagine if you told somebody like in 1970 or so, like, well, if somebody said, yeah, I have $5,000 in credit card debt, it'd be like, oh my god, like, what am I doing? This is a big deal. And again, I see people every day that when I run credit, they got $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 credit card debt, and it's just, oh, it's all right.
I was just a good example of like the sign of the times almost is like a Cabela's credit card. You go into Dillard's, you go into Cabela's, you go into anything, they're out front asking you if you want to. Hey, we'll give you $300 if you open an account with us.
100%.
It's a credit card, and that's a funny example of just sign of the times and how expected debt is nowadays.
And I'll say this: any consumer good, any store, anything like that, any financial institution, they love debt.
Yes,
it's not for your best interest.
No,
debt can spiral out of control fast and quickly. You can be looking at yourself one day. Just saying, you know what, I can add $5,000 credit card. It's all good.
Minimum payment's only $200.
Minimum payment, I'll pay it off later.
$200 is nothing.
Yeah. Well, I can go on this, fancy dinner date.
Yeah.
I'll add another $500 to it.
Yeah.
Minimum payment's like $250.
Another round, please, waiter.
Yeah. And before you know it, you're sitting there and staring in the face, and you literally, in a couple of months, you went from having $1,000 balance on your credit cards. Now you're looking at 25,000 or
Yeah.
something like that. I think it's just so easy to spiral out of control. It's very scary.
Yeah.
About it. Very, very scary.
It is.
Again, we can go on and on about how accessible it is to increase your debts, but again, I think, in my honest opinion, I think most of it has to do with social media culture and just, again, keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Trying to flex, wanting to feel and look cool. And again, I think most of that has to do with our values in life are just so off compared to where they should be. And, again, nobody, if you're 20 years old, 21 years old, you're trying to make a name for yourself in your career or whatever. There's no need for anybody our age to get the biggest, most badass truck or the fastest sports car right now.
Feels good though, doesn't
It
it?
feels great. It feels great. It feels cool when you got your friends over.
Yeah.
You want to come drive it.
I got massage seats in this bad boy. Yeah.
It feels cool, but that $600 payment does not feel very cool.
No, dude. I mean,
one thing I'll throw out there too, again, going to younger people, most of our audience we're trying to go after younger people. A very large car payment probably doesn't seem that bad when you don't have many other debts.
absolutely.
But a lot can change in 4 or 5, 6 years.
Absolutely.
If you all of a sudden have a baby on the way, and now you have to worry about diapers and formula and daycare and stuff like that.
Car seat can't fit in a Porsche,
Things can happen quickly. And just because you probably at this moment can afford something, probably doesn't mean that you can afford that for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree.
I think that's a lot of ragging on
I'm glad we
on Rich here.
talked shit about people for a while there.
Yeah. I just goes to show this little podcast here. We'll lay on anybody.
Comment below your least favorite people.
Least favorite people, we'll start ragging on them too.
Your least favorite type of person, we'll go ahead and do an episode over.
Wait till we start talking about the mortgage loans. Gosh, I can't wait for the insurance episode. But again, guys, before we close, I just want to really, I can't stress this enough. If you are riding around with a great set of wheels, or if you're rocking the dress clothes, I'm not trying to say you're a bad person or anything like that. And again, you probably can afford it. That's probably no issue. I am saying my issue, my frustration comes from the people who literally cannot afford what they're doing. They are going in massive debts and really taking away their comfortability to impress strangers. I don't understand that. I think if you are in that issue, it's okay to start over. My contact info is on this page here. I can run credit analysis and see what we can do to get some debt relieved off you. I can do that. I'll happily do that. My issue is with that. My issue is I legitimately have fear for what we are doing as a society because so many people do that. In addition to that, it upsets me when I talk with close friends of mine who feel like they are not at worth or not where they need to be because they are seeing people who I know for a fact make the same amount of money, do all this, going out and having trips or driving sports cars or stuff like that. I don't like that either because, again, I think it goes back to society. We paint a picture that's not real in this world. But, again, not necessarily hating on anybody here. It's coming from love from both sides. If you need any help with anything, I'd love to help you out with that. We have the resources to look at all that stuff and figure out an opportunity to get you out of some financial trouble if you are in it. But I think with that, we're going to go ahead and end this episode. If we offended you, we're sorry. If I offended you, I'm sorry. But with that being said, we'll catch you on the flip. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to The Jake Show. This episode has been brought to you by Jake Martinez of the Martinez Mortgage Team at Ameridream Mortgage Group. Don't hesitate to see what your home buying or refinancing options are today. Call or text Jake at 940-389-5443 to get started. NMLS number 2453141. Equal housing lender. Tune in next week for the brand new episode of The Jake Show.